Getting on and riding a bike is not exactly the easiest of physical feats. A creaky back, balance issues, muscle weakness, they can all make bicycling a no-go, especially for older people. But riding a bike is so fun, so peaceful, so beautiful. A new group in Plattsburgh believes strongly in the splendor of biking and has a mission to get everyone on wheels. That's today's story of the day.
Support for Story of the Day comes from the Wild Center in Tupper Lake, dedicated to strengthening visitors' connections to the natural world. More at wildcenter.org.
Hey, I'm David Summerstein. It's Monday, May 19th. First up, Governor Kathy Hochul is set to visit the Seneca Nation's Cattaraugus territory south of Buffalo tomorrow to formally apologize for the state's role in operating a boarding school for Native children. The Thomas Indian School was part of a nationwide policy of forced assimilation and stripping of Native culture and identity away from Native young people. New York operated the school from the late 1800s until 1957. Seneca Nation President J.C. Seneca says the visit isn't just an opportunity for Hochul to apologize, but to have an important dialogue between survivors, family, and state officials.
Those of us that have family and the survivors, we look for a process of healing. And I think, a lot of these things have been kept inside of a lot of our people. And I think this gives opportunity for the discussion to happen, for the ability to them to begin a healing process for that.
Hochul's apology comes several months after then-President Joe Biden formally apologized for the federal government's role in hundreds of Native boarding schools. An investigation by the Washington Post found over 3,000 Native youth died while attending boarding schools between 1828 and 1970. Two people who work at Sunmount in Tupper Lake were recently charged with endangering a physically disabled patient. The state-run facility houses people with disabilities and people convicted of crimes who are unfit to stand trial. According to police, the incident happened in late April when the two employees were transporting a patient from Sunmount to a nearby hospital. An investigation found that they didn't provide the patient with proper care when going to and from the hospital. Both of the Sunmount staff members arrested are from St. Lawrence County, including a man in his late 20s from Norfolk and a woman in her early 50s from Messina. There are few things quite like riding a bike. The sun in your face, the wind in your hair, moving through the world just a little faster than on foot. A new nonprofit based in Plattsburgh is on a mission to bring the joy of cycling to everyone, no matter their age or physical ability. Kara Chapman has our story.
I'm cruising along with Joan Herzig on the Terry Gordon bike path, which runs along the coast of Lake Champlain. The sun is shining, and we've got a nice breeze in our faces.
We're on the radio, Joan, so can you describe for me the view that we have right now?
Well, you can't beat this view. You're looking over at Lake Champlain, and on the other side is the Vermont mountains.
You might think Herzig and I are on bicycles, and you'd kind of be right. We are on wheels. But we're actually passengers on an e-assisted tri-shop. Think 3 wheels with a passenger box up front, kind of like a carriage. Seated behind us is our very careful pilot, Rebecca Boer-West.
Well, I always try to consider that even though it might be just a small bump, it's felt differently up front than it is, for me. So I want to make sure that the experience is enjoyable.
Boer-West is the founder of the local chapter of Cycling Without Age. It's a worldwide movement that, quote, aims to provide joy and vitality to all through the magic of bicycle rides. Their main tools are tri-shots, like the one we're riding. Boer-West first learned about Cycling Without Age several years ago. She made a mental note to look into bringing it to the Plattsburgh area after she retired. But then COVID happened, and with it, isolation and separation from loved ones, something many in senior living experience all the time. So Boer-West decided to move up her timeline. She still works as a medical massage therapist and functional health coach, but she felt now was the time to bring Cycling Without Age to Clinton County.
People need this now. We need to break the isolation, the separation. We need to decrease depression, and the list goes on.
After 2 years of planning and fundraising through grants and private donations, Cycling Without Age Adirondack Coast officially launched last June with rides in Plattsburgh, Rouse's Point, and Chazy. Since then, the organization has continued to grow. They've added 2 more trishaws, which cost $12,000 to $15,000 apiece. They're also busy training and recruiting new pilots. Scott Slater is a volunteer in the Plattsburgh area. He offers rides at a local assisted living community every Monday.
It just seemed like the older we get, the more we realize how important elder care is. It's just a nice opportunity to give back to that community and share.
Slater was already an avid cyclist before joining Cycling Without Age. There's a lot he wants to share with his riders about the joy of biking.
You hear things you're not going to hear in a car. You smell things you're not going to smell in a car. So the connection to the outdoors is more present, and that's what appeals to me in bicycling. Traveling at the speed of a bicycle is a great speed to be at.
It's a different speed than what Herzig is used to. On our ride, she tells me she's a native Vermonter and enjoyed snowmobiling while raising her 4 kids. The family also used to go hunting, fishing, and camping.
No, we don't do that very much. But I still love to get out for a ride or just to enjoy the outdoors.
Herzig is a frequent trishaw passenger, and she's become an ambassador of sorts, recruiting new riders among her fellow residents at the Lake Forest Senior Living Community and others.
Have you gotten your son on one of these yet?
I have not. No, I have not, but I'm working on it.
Cycling Without Age isn't just for seniors. In 2024, the organization served more than 180 passengers, ranging in age from 11 to 103. Bora West says Cycling Without Age is for anyone who'd benefit from getting out, including grandparents, their children, and grandchildren who ride together.
Just because you can still ride a bike and walk and so forth does not mean that you cannot be a passenger along somebody who's not able to. And because the whole point is creating memories and bringing people together.
At Herzig's insistence, we follow the Saranac River Trail on a big swirly loop around the city. It's her favorite trip to make on the trishaw.
What do you like about it?
Well, it's by the river. That's the big thing. It's by the river, and you cross the river several times, and it's just, well, listen to it. You can hear.
We make our way across a footbridge, through a church parking lot, and down Monty Street, where Moma Elementary students are leaving school for the day.
Hello.
We wave at the kids and their families, and we can't help but laugh.
Yes, of course we do. Of course we do.
Herzig beams and waves goodbye, and we bike on. That's what Cycling Without Age is all about, creating memories and bringing people together. Kara Chapman, North Country Public Radio, Plattsburgh.
It's been a while since I had time in the show to talk about the new show name. Story of the day never really worked for me. So far, you listeners have offered up 41 new names, and there's some really good ones. For example, I like Depth of Field. I like Aperture. Northern Exposure would be perfect, but, it's already taken. So let's get one more round of suggestions. Put on your thinking cap and send some new names for this show to david@ncpr.org. That's my email address, david@ncpr.org. Thank you so much for your creativity and for helping with this project. Music today by Dan Berggren of Ballston Spa and Evan Veenstra of Gananoque, Ontario. I'm David Summerstein, North Country Public Radio.